It's an honor to meet you, Thierry Henry, first of all. You're an amazing football player. I just wanted to start off and ask you, you've played with the greatest of players at obviously Arsenal and Barcelona, and throughout your career, who do you think is the best player you've played with?
I think if you take the what I call the freaks out, so the likes of Zizou, Messi, and some of us that I play, Ronaldinho, because they're just not normal, they're not human. But for the others, I always say that Dennis Bergkamp was the best player that I played with, because I mentioned it so many times. First and foremost, because I played the partner that I had the longest, the guy that I played the most with, also on the field, I think, and he was always doing what the game was asking him to do. You know, and when he could do something else on the field, but he was always trying to do what the game was asking him to do. And so I always respected that, the way he was training, always training hard, always first in training and everything that we were doing. So, yeah, I mentioned it so many times, Dennis Bergkamp, yeah.
Okay, who do you think was most difficult to play against?
I always thought that I was my biggest problem. Because if I wasn't going to perform well, then it would have been easier to defend on me. You know, no matter the quality of the defender was. And so if I was going to have a good game, then it was difficult to defend on me. So that was always my way of, when I finished the game, to work on what I didn't do well. You know, not like I didn't want to give any credit to anybody, because some guys had amazing games against me. But I'm saying it was my way to work on what I needed to do next. And so I was always focusing on, you know, it's my fault type of thing. So I would say myself.
Now, Victor Wanyama is obviously the first Kenyan to play in the Premier League, and you've given him high praise. What do you really think of him as a player?
He's very good. I think last year he had an amazing season. I said that he was an unsung hero. You know, you're always going to mention Kane, you're always going to mention Dele Alli, you're always going to mention Vertonghen and everybody, but holding midfielder sometimes is not a fashionable position, although N'Golo Kante made it fashionable, and Makelele also a bit earlier. But I think he's doing a great job for Tottenham. Unfortunately, he's been injured since the beginning of the season. He's good. It's a great example for all Africans, and especially Kenyans, for him to be in the league, and the way he's playing is strong. He started to score goals, like I said early on. He started to score goals in the league, but he's just a unit. You know, the way he sees the game, when he goes and grabs that ball, is just so powerful and strong. And he's also intelligent on the ball, and he does just enough what's required in that position to help the team. And so that's why I said he was an unsung hero, because people don't tend to look at those players and see what they do and get inspired by those players. But I say so many times that you actually notice what those players are doing when they're not playing. And I think right now Tottenham are realizing, you know, how much he was holding the fort.
Yeah, you mentioned African players. You speak very fondly of George Weah. What did you think of him as a player?
He was just in his prime. I think that George Weah was unplayable, powerful. You know, he's one of the first strikers that I've seen combining power and technique at the same time. Then Ronaldo, Brazilian Ronaldo, came also with that and elevated that. But George Weah was just so powerful. Technique was sound, good in the air, quick. I mean, he had everything, and he was a special player. Yeah.
Now, you're obviously the assistant manager for Belgium. How do you see them playing in the World Cup?
Well, that's the job of that's our job. Obviously, the coach the coach is doing we are doing a great job. We'll see how it's going to work. I keep on saying, as a player is different, but as an assistant manager, our focus with the boss right now is on Panama, our first game. Then you can never predict what's going to happen in the World Cup. You know, there's so many things that can change what can happen in the World Cup. But our focus is on Panama, and it's a team that not a lot of people know. So we're doing our research right now, and then we'll see how it's going to go after.
City are doing really well in the Premier League at the moment. Some people have actually been comparing them to your Barcelona side. What's making them so good?
So what impresses me the most is obviously, I know because I had Pep as a coach, is the way they are off the ball, the way they are recovering the ball. as quick as they can, making sure that the other team is as far as possible from their goals, sorry, and that impresses me a lot. And to be able to do that in the Premier League, and also being top of the group in the Champions League, it's not an easy one. But you know, they are doing it. They are doing it the right way. They're playing some amazing football. You know, I'm not a Man City fan, but you'll be lying if you say that you don't like the way they play. They're playing amazingly, but for me, is what they do off the ball that impresses me the most. I'm not saying it's what they do on the ball is not great, but what they're doing off the ball is very impressive.
Finally, it's the greatest debate of our era, Lionel Messi. You played with him, or Cristiano Ronaldo. Who do you think is the best?
Well, listen, that's going to be the question that everyone asks. I played with, I'm going to be biased because I played with Leo, so I'm always going to go with a teammate or ex-teammate, but you have to give Ronaldo a lot of credit. I mean, we're talking about two freaks, two animals. I mean, the numbers that they have is just ridiculous. I mean, you know, it's like do you like custard with your dessert or not? The dessert will still be good. You know, it's one of the other. I will always going to go with a teammates because that's how it is as a team. Always go with teammates, but Ronaldo is just outstanding.
Okay, thank you so much.